Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Los Angeles Ultra PC #1 featuring Riley Factura versus Allan Martinez.
At least we know why you're super excited.
Yeah.
I already caught a shiny Bagon, so I'm golden.
I don't care. It's green, like green Dragonite. It's cursed.
Even your favorite?
Ugh.
Anyway, you're just upset because I got one.
No, I don't care.
That's a lie.
I don't cry myself. What the?
So Allan is bringing the team he's been using on stream, I think, is that Incineroar, Beedrill, Amigas, Tapu Lele, Dawnwings, Necrozma, and Xerneas. And we've got Riley with that Xerneas, Incineroar, Groudon, Salamence, Stakataka, and Smeargle. So first things first, no Primal on Allan's side, and no other chance of like weather. So Mega Beedrill. Are you excited for that Fell Stinger?
What is that?
Mega Beedrill?
I know.
It's a Pokemon.
What?
It's one of Dawson's favorite megas.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm
Humps.
very curious to how this is going to play out. I think most Lele's I've seen so far in this meta is run the Choice Scarf, which is very useful, especially against stuff like Xerneas and Groudon. Two fairly different teams. Both the only similar things they have is the Incineroar plus Xerneas. So it's gonna be interesting to see how like the differences play out. I'm also interested to see what this Beedrill can do because you don't see Beedrill
Well,
every
like
day.
a butterfly, sting like a Beedrill.
All right.
What up? Well, I mean, it's
That's
funny
not copyrighted, right?
He's also got a Tapu Lele.
That's not trademark, right? We can say that. Okay, good. Well, you
Definitely-
can't
that's
say
definitely- No, don't say it.
yeah. You can't say
You
beep.
can't say- Anyway, maybe this will be the day that Allan finally wins against Riley. And like you said before, we're gonna find out. So Riley leading Stakataka and that Groudon as that that Tapu Lele and that Beedrill are gonna be on the field together. Psychic terrain going up. Not gonna matter much right now. No Incineroar on Riley's side here for those fake out or that feeling good as Primal reversion from that Groudon is not gonna matter as much because I don't think we actually see any sort of water type moves from Allan's side that would be just sort of fizzled out by that.
I know the moveset that Beedrill gets because at some point in time I probably thought about using it. So.
What Mega haven't you thought about using? Ampharos?
Pidgeot.
Oh.
Pidgeot is just terrible.
Heracross? Wait.
Heracross I can see use, but yeah, Beedrill gets a move that I'm not gonna say because you're too close. I don't want to hear it.
Felstinger. Oh, I don't know. Felstinger I think is really. It's just a cool
So
move.
I think right now, if Allan can't prevent the Trick Room from being set up, he's gonna be in a world of hurt. But on the other hand, it is a mode I think of carry.
You can say it, they can't hear you.
I can because I've played before and I heard it move.
Why wouldn't you tell Miguel immediately?
Oh, because it was too late. I was playing the game.
Well,
All right. Well, okay. Now that the turn is going, I think that Beedrill could have something like a ground move, like
this is
a
fun.
single target ground move that
This
has
is
a higher
really
chance to
interesting.
crit. Drill run.
Okay, I was like waiting. I was like, you've been talking about it, and you're not doing well. Riley protecting that Groudon on this turn, as Tapu Lele with that side shot goes into that Groudon, and now Poison Jab actually doubling down into that Groudon. So now we're gonna get Pyro Ball gonna go into that Tapu Lele. Is gonna be able to pick up a knockout very easily here. So Riley immediately getting a beast boost on this turn and gets that defense boost. I mean,
I don't
that was
understand
interesting.
that turn. I don't.
Cheater here. Hey.
Alright, so here comes the Necrozma, which I'm sure is gonna,
Man.
it's gonna become the light that burns the sky Necrozma. But this is already looking terrible for Allan because how does he stop this Sakataka? Period.
You don't.
Well,
I guess. Well, I guess you try your best.
I guess, but it's. I don't know. It's like Necrozma. Sure, you can Photon Geyser plus do something to this Groudon, but at the same time, like, what are you doing to this Sakataka?
Hope it doesn't just wall your team. Get it.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, we get that. We get the Ultra Burst now from that Dawnwings, bringing us back to the Cosmic Hand as Beedrill goes for the U-turn, finally gets a hit onto that Groudon, but Allan already just down that Tapu Lele is going to be really tough for him. You're going to have to bring in that last Pokemon he has here. So I think Riley was just able to protect that Groudon very well and get that knockout very easily. Amoonguss is going to be the last Pokemon here as Earth Power from the
Shuckleberry.
Another Shuckleberry on the Sakataka, so I guess
So
that'll be the fun thing for now. does survive on this turn here as Fire Punch goes into that Beagle spot. So Allan
That's a
sacrificing
knockout.
that Amoonguss just to try to keep that Beagle here. It is definitely just gonna be, I think, a game 2 for Allan. Like there's yeah.
There's gonna a lot of Precipice Blaze are gonna have to miss here for this to change. So I mean, Lights That Burn the Sky could be definitely a KO on ground on the Psychic Terrain. Problem is getting that off before you get just absolutely demolished. And the Precipice Blaze absolutely KOs this Beedrill, since it's not the bulkiest of Pokemon, unless I don't know. I don't think you should be able to knock it survive up the Precipice Blaze, but we'll see.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it misses because Precipice Blade sometimes misses, depending on who you are. Sometimes, if it really likes you, you'll hit all of them. But Sakataka going once more for that Dragon Ball goes into. Oh, hey, look, that's your favorite move for a Groudon.
And Riley just
okay,
absolutely went to town on Allan in this first game.
Alright, your crush on Riley is.
I mean,
it's very obvious.
there was no switch. Yeah, that was a very quick game 1.
We'll still definitely have time to do Community Day.
Yeah, I know.
Unless Allan makes some huge adjustments here, like not giving up that Tapu Lele, not doubling down into a Protect on that turn. I think as fun as Mega Beedrill is, if you don't have a way to kind of control the weather against Groudon, I think bringing it here isn't. It's just not something you should do in game 2 unless you really just want your round to be over.
Yeah, I felt like maybe something like a Lele plus
We'll find out once we see these.
Yeah, it could have been a much useful tool, but we'll see. For some reason, when that Sakataka ate the Shuckaberry, all I could think is like how cool it would be a nickname be Shuckaberry Finn.
Is that literally all you can think about?
Yeah, that was what I was like, oh, that would be a cool
I will
name.
say you did come up with a really cool Kirby team name.
Oh yeah, Kirby Your Enthusiasm.
That was really good.
So once again, to recap,
Miguel was not a fan of it. It was
great.
funny. I thought it was funny.
It's great.
And I'm not obligated to think it's funny at all.
She is not.
Anyway, I mean, I think it's just kind of tough for Allan because I think once you have that ability for like those boosted fire punches, especially against something like Beedrill and Amoonguss, then you're just letting yourself like lose to Eruption.
I think if you can stop the Trick Room from being set up and set up that Xerneas, he'd be in a pretty decent spot. The problem is like, I think the lead that Riley had just gave him such a good range. I also felt like doubling up into the ground on turn 1 was kind of a mistake. I don't really feel like there was a lot to gain from that. I felt like maybe that Beedrill doesn't carry the drill run that I thought it would carry, but if it did have that, it would be an amazing tool against the Sakataka. We'll see. I don't think Riley needs to change anything. I think what he had was just perfect. It gave him a lot of like range of what he could control, and like that Eruption was just such a key tool to just getting rid of everything too.
I mean, I think at that point it was just like, unless Riley like literally pressed forfeit and like clicked run, there was no way he was losing that, right? So we've got a kind of different lead now from both players here. That Tapu Lele back on the field, this time with that Dawnwing, so like a lead that you had pointed out, and Riley actually leading with Smeargle, and Incineroar, so it's a cat and dog fight out here. Where's Miguel when I need him to shake his head at me?
Well, an interesting lead for Riley here, like, Smeargle is always one of those Pokemon that you're terrified to just leave it alone, because A, it can just go explore everybody, and then what are you going to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sleep on your opponent.
Yeah, and then Dawnwing's going to evolve into Ultra Necrozma here. Ultra Necrozma, although a really powerful Pokemon, does not take... Was that Magic?
It was. Magic Room? Nice. So that'll be really
That's actually a really cool play from Allan. I actually really like that. So Smeargle gets absolutely
knocked out because the Focus Sash no longer in effect here thanks to that Magic Room. Throat Chop is going to connect here into that Necrozma spot. Does a lot of damage. But no items also I think means what you can't Z-move next time, but
you can still Z-move. You can't. You cannot go for Geomancy, however.
Oh, well, I mean that's. Well, that's actually really fun. I know that some people were using Magic Room during the International Challenge because their audience was just running rampant everywhere, right? So I think kind of a cool thing to reveal from Allan's side, especially here, and gives him a little bit of a fighting chance that Necrozma's going to go down.
Well, the thing is that Lele, a double up from Lele plus Necrozma could pick up a KO onto the Stakataka. The one thing that I actually don't know how this works. I think once you use Magic Room, the Choice Scarf gets nullified, so you're no longer just tied to that move. I guess you are because you have to switch out. So Earth Power from or not. Earth Power would have been a cool move to use here. But that Sakataka sets up Trick Room now. That's going to be a problem for Riley. But it did.
Yeah, so Sakataka goes for the Protect here as the Incineroar goes for the U-turn. Does go into the Necrozma though, which had also protected. So Mungus on the field here could go for Spores, could go for Rage Powder.
Yeah.
So, man, that pizza smells really good now.
Yeah, Miguel gets his pizza because he's just the absolute best.
So, but I think that that Magic Room is going to be something kind of fun to try to play around now, and I think it's a kind of cool tech on Allan's side. But Riley going to be switching out that second tackle for the Groudon, so we will be getting the weather once more here on the field. Anytime you don't see someone having a high motivation in their game, I actually don't know how often that would be.
That's not very often that happens. One thing I think is, I mean, he definitely brought the Groudon, so the Flare Blitz will absolutely 100% KO the Amoonguss.
The Amoonguss is ready.
Earth Power is gonna do a lot of damage to this Groudon, so that's something that
Yikes,
that was scary. I'm scared.
Well, Amoonguss is going to be able to redirect that again, as it does go down on the stern, thanks to that Flare Blitz. And now it's just a matter of which Earth Power you're going to go into, right?
I think Riley is kind of in a lot of trouble here, because Magic Room is still up, so Shucka Berry is not going to activate for Stakataka. And yeah, that's actually problematic. It's really problematic for Riley because the only way he can set up, he can stop the Stakataka from getting one shot at is with the Shucka Berry. And since he doesn't have that, he's in kind of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, no items is you might as well be playing Let's Go.
Yeah. So yeah,
Earth Power gonna knock out that Incineroar, and I mean, Sideshot gonna pick up a knockout here onto that Groudon as well. And I mean, Riley's losing that Groudon to the Incineroar, and
he doesn't have anything left.
Yeah,
he has the Staka, but yeah, like
that was a nice change.
He brought 3 Pokemon that are does not enjoy
not having their items.
Not having their items. I think that's something that Riley needs to probably account for the next game.
Yeah.
I mean, it caught him by surprise, and I don't.
It caught both of us by surprise.
Yeah,
too.
it's not something you can predict. But I think let's pretend that Riley led something like Smeargle plus Xerneas. He could have. He would still been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
oh wow, that's actually a really cool tech to lead with.
Choice Scarf, Magic Room Lele.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna decide to run something like Mega Beedrill and then not have primals on your team as well, right? Then having that sort of like support, and I think that's what's so interesting about having Pokemon that are considered like sort of either niche or unused, is that you find kind of really cool and creative ways to make sure that you can use them more viably, right? Because I think so many people just write off Pokemon as like, oh, like you can't do this, you can't do that, so I don't want to use you. Whereas in this way, you kind of just branch out and then you come up with something like Choice Scarf Magic Hero, right? Which we'd seen before in like as sort of like a best of one tech in the IC before, but it also like kind of forces now a game 3, right? And so Riley's gonna have to really think, how are you gonna stop that?
I think if he has something like Tailwind onto this elements, he can potentially do something, because he could just lead like Smeargle, Salamence, and then Smeargle gets knocked out. You can Smeargle gets knocked out. You have the Tailwind to like help you just knock out everything back. So I think Riley has
tools.
He has tools to deal with it. Where like if you just watch that game 2 as a game 1, you would think that Allan has like the perfect tech to deal with this team. Which in certain regards, it definitely has like a really cool text to deal with it.
And then I think as long as you're someone who doesn't get completely caught off guard by it, and then just think to yourself like, okay, there's ways to come back from this. I just have to figure out the best way to set it up and how or what is Allan gonna do in this game 3, right? Because I mean, they played each other a lot in our locals, and I think it's at the point where once you start figuring out your like those play styles, then it's kind of understanding how would you adjust in the game three.
Yeah,
That
Riley's
was really a fun game too.
Yeah.
These games went by fast.
Yeah, they have. Riley's really good to adjusting. I mean, 4-time regional champion. Like, you don't get to that level
That's right.
without adjusting well to games. So we're gonna see Smeargle plus Groudon, which is actually I think that's the perfect counter lead to deal with the situation, because now you're putting a ton of pressure into this Cosmo, and yeah.
Alright, yeah, and so here we go. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So game 3, Allan leading again. That Tapu Lele and that Don Wings Cosmo. We do have the Primal version once more now from that Groudon. If I ever see a Groudon that doesn't Primal River, I'm gonna be so confused.
Yep. Well,
So,
if we ever play a format like Sun and Moon again.
well, I mean, like for this format, right?
I mean, you can see stuff like Scarf Crower still was something people used in 16, so and it's still something I see sometimes in this format. Not as popular, but it's still.
How often do you see it? Like once every 12 games?
Yeah, it's still rare, but it's Primal Groudon is definitely like absolutely necessary.
Oh, alright, so Smeargle actually getting withdrawn on this turn in place of Incineroar, which is going to get into both of Allan's Pokemon. Not really super important here. And we are going to have the Ultra Burst now from Necrozma on Allan's side. I am also going to get very tired of seeing that, probably. Well, actually, you know what though? I still haven't seen the light that burns the sky, so there is that. Tapu Lele going for the Moonblast, so no Magic Room here. Does get the special attack drop on Incineroar, and Incineroar doesn't really care enough about that one, I think, at this point. But does get doubled down with the Earth Power as well. Does hold on here, and Passive Blades connecting with both Pokemon here from that Groudon connecting Passive Blades on both Pokemon. No Intimidates. Does not get any knockouts.
Yeah, one thing that's kind of interesting to know is that Lights That Burns the Sky will KO a Groudon from here. So,
There's no berry on that.
that's how it took. It's definitely AV. It took their power plus a Moonblast. There's no way you take that without being AV. I think Riley is in an interesting spot here. On one hand, oh wow, he does not protect. He is going all out. And now we're gonna see Lights That Burns the Sky!
I'm so glad Miguel has to do this because, oh god.
That Groudon is gone. There's no surviving that in Psychic Terrain. Yes. Groudon.
Oh, you missed my cat and dogs thing earlier, Miguel. There was a Smeargle and an Incineroar on the field, and I was like, oh, it's a cat and dog fight now.
Not your best.
I know it's not, but it's okay.
I'm actually surprised that Riley chose to not protect the Groudon here, because this move is just so powerful, and the Psychic Terrain is so powerful. And it's like, this is like a Dragon Ball Z fight right now. Trademark. And that Groudon is gone. Took a Kamehameha or a Spirit Bomb.
I really would just want to catch another Vagon, please.
Alright, and Groudon gets knocked out. And
Poor Groudon.
Riley's actually in not a great spot here because
That's really tough. Like, yeah, I'm actually like surprised that he also didn't protect there because I feel like no matter what happens, you were gonna take a Z move into that spot, right? Because there's no reason to kind of not do.
I don't know. I think it's also gonna depend on what Allan's last two Pokemon are. I'm assuming he brought a Moonstep one more time. He absolutely needs to bring in Smeargle here to protect him from devastation.
I mean, I think this is kind of like rough. I mean, sure, Allan burns a Z move, but he takes down that Primal Groudon, which could have easily like picked up a knockout on this turn.
Yeah.
So what you go for? I mean, if and I think we're like 100% sure now at this point that Tapu Lele is Choice Scarf. You know, you're locked into Moonblast, but that's still like just so much damage. Like you don't even actually like. I don't know what you can kind of really do to stop Tapu Lele unless, but yeah, you go for Follow Me.
Yeah,
and
you
then
need to
Stack
redirect.
Attack, just attacks.
Well, Sack Attack goes for something like a Trick Room here, and then you need to start picking up knockouts. And depending on what Allan's last Pokemon is, if it's like, let's say for example, is the if it's something like the Beedrill, I think Riley can pull this back. If it's something like, I actually don't know how Allan deals with.
Allan?
Yeah, I don't know how. If all Allan needs to do is puts this stack attacker to sleep and knock it out. We already seen that the Incineroar has taken an unimaginable amount of damage. That's like
a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's not
That's
great.
That's actually, this is really tough.
Yeah, it looks really rough for Riley. He lost that Groudon a little bit too easy. I would like to see him preserve that a little bit better. Fortunately, he didn't, and now it's gonna be like really hard to pull this back. Not impossible, just really difficult.
The Cosmos is gonna go for the Protect here, so won't get knocked out on this turn. And it's gonna pick up the knockout on top of Ukulele here very easily, already at 18 HP left. Does also get a defense boost here thanks to that beast boost.
Was it defense also? Yeah. I think attack. I think Riley would really like to have an attack boost at this point, but not the case. Not over yet. I think Amumus is gonna come in for sure. Yep. If Riley can get some Rock Slide flinches.
Well, there's a Rock Slide, there's a way.
No,
it's been a very long time since I've had to say that.
Yep. Rock Slide. Rock Slide is that move that saves lives and destroys other lives.
You mean saves your life and destroys your opponents?
Unless it's me playing, and then it's the opposite always.
You get flinches sometimes.
It's very rare. Xerneas comes in, so Riley really needs to bank on getting this Rock Slide flinch here. Otherwise, he's 100% losing this game. Rock Slide coming in, it's going to connect with both Pokemon, so let's see if
you're Riley, you're crossing your fingers for that flinch on that side. Oh, nope. Spore connecting here. Did you see that Incineroar spot?
I'm actually surprised by that. Because he put himself in a not great situation here. I mean, if Riley can pick up a flinch onto the Xerneas or the Amumus, actually he just needs to pick up a flinch onto this Xerneas, and the actually needs both.
Yeah, I think it's like he needs a double flinch, right? Because then he gets bored, or Xerneas sets up with Geomancy, and then Riley just loses no matter what.
Yeah.
So now you're crossing your legs, your fingers, and whatever else, like hoping for those double flinches. And we're just going for the Rage Powder here. Incineroar, I think, took that necessary sleep turn from that last turn.
It's entirely in the realm of possibility that Incineroar wakes up here.
It's up to those.
Oh, not the case. But if you can get a flinch, that could be very useful. Oh, no.
Just a straight Moonblast now from that Xerneas.
I think Riley loses this.
Yeah, Riley is understanding he definitely lost this game. So, well, that was... Alright. Yeah, so we're just gonna see a portrait from Riley.
Yeah, there's no winning this, because as soon as the Trick Room is over, all that Allan has to do is press the power button and the game is over. So congrats to Allan.
Wow, what a... Alright.
Yep.
Well, I mean, actually that was like really kind of fun to watch.
Yep.
And I think it's been kind of fun seeing Allan sort of use Pokemon like that in a very kind of like unique way, right? So I mean, we didn't see Mega Beedrill again after game 1 because it got absolutely destroyed. But seeing that Tapu Lele being used in a way that most people don't expect anymore was also kind of really cool. And I'm trying to catch shiny Minions, guys. Still, sorry, but anyway. So that was like what, round 3 of 5?
Yep. So 2 more rounds.
4 and going into 5. So that'll be fun. See you guys. We're gonna go catch some Pokemon.
All right. Peace.